Good morning, I'm Maiki Oreta and you're watching Basis Points, where we dive deep into the numbers and the stories that drive our economy and shape our world. The headlines. Finance Secretary Ralph Recto sees a brighter economic future in 2025 thanks to two game-changing new laws. And two of the country's biggest billionaires are teaming up to transform the country's main gateway, NAIA, into a world-class airport. Stockbroker and certified technical analyst Miko Sayo joins us to break down the latest developments on the equities front, find out which listed firm is up over 770% year to date. And a break in the case, New York police arrest a suspect in the high-profile murder of UnitedHealth CEO Brian Thompson. First, a quick look at the financial markets over on Wall Street. Stocks closed lower on Monday as tech stocks took a hit. Nvidia led the declines after China's market regulator launched an antitrust probe into the chipmaker. The S&P 500 dropped 0.6% to close at 60.53. The Nasdaq Composite lost 0.6% to close at 19,737. Meanwhile, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.5% to 44,402.
Yeah, so today's stocks are down a little bit. Obviously, I think a big percentage of that is just that we've come up so far. It's been such a great year, and we've got this little window of time before the Fed. It's if you're going to pause, this is kind of the only opportunity, if that makes sense. We have pretty seasonally strong period through the end of the year. We think any pullbacks are probably a buying opportunity, and that's probably why when you do get a setback in a hot stock like Nvidia, which is what we're seeing today. You're not really seeing too much damage from it.
Over in Europe, stocks continued their positive streak on Monday. Investors remain optimistic amid Chinese stimulus measures and geopolitical uncertainties. The FTSE finished up by 0.5%, while France's CAC 40 gained 0.7%. Over in the Asia-Pacific, markets are showing a mixed start. Japan's Nikkei 225 is up by 0.5%, and South Korea's Kospi is up almost 2%. However, Australia's S&P ASX 200 is lower by about 0.4%. Finance Secretary Ralph Recto says that the Philippine economy is on track for growth in 2025, crediting two newly signed laws that focus on tourism, spending, and food security. President Marcos signed into law a value-added tax refund mechanism for non-resident tourists. Recto explained that this measure is designed to attract more foreign spending by making the Philippines a competitive destination for tourism dollars. He says that this will not only drive consumer activity, but also generate more jobs, increase income levels, and fuel the country's economic growth. The president also approved amendments to the Agriculture Tarification Act, which grants the Department of Agriculture greater authority to respond to rice supply issues. This includes declaring a food security emergency to address supply shortages or price spikes. These new policies aim to enhance the country's appeal to foreign spenders and to strengthen the domestic resilience against food supply challenges, positioning the country for sustained economic growth in 2025. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas is expected to implement larger rate cuts next year as inflation eases faster than anticipated, according to Dutch financial services firm ING Bank N.V. In its latest macroeconomic outlook, ING expects Philippine inflation to average 3.4% this year, drop to 2.8% next year, and slightly rise to 3.5% in 2026. This report notes that the market consensus in Asia is leaning towards fewer rate cuts, driven by the U.S. Federal Reserve's policy, which has narrowed interest rate differentials between Asian markets and the United States. However, ING argues that strong disinflation and slower economic growth could allow more aggressive rate cuts in countries like the Philippines, Singapore, India, and Indonesia. Now, this outlook suggests that the Philippines could leverage rate cuts to spur economic activity while navigating global financial trends. The Department of Agriculture plans to retain the 15% rice tariff through next year, even as rice inflation slows. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel says that the goal remains to further reduce rice prices. The 15% tariff is set for review by the National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, in February of next year. Local rice supply typically increases by May following the dry season harvest. Meanwhile, cereal products, including rice and corn, are still major contributors to high food inflation. The Philippine Statistics Authority reported that rice inflation dropped to 5.1% in November, down from 9.6% in October. Now, retaining the tariff could help stabilize rice prices and support food security, but the impact will depend on local harvests and on global market conditions in the coming months. Now, two billionaires are teaming up to transform the country's main gateway, the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Manny Pangalinan's Meralco is investing 1.25 billion pesos to implement integrated power infrastructure projects across all NAIA terminals. This upgrade is part of the ongoing improvements by the Ramon Ang-led New NAIA Infra Corporation. A highlight of Meralco's plan includes the construction of underground distribution facilities around the NAIA complex. The project aims to improve the reliability of NAIA's power supply, meeting the growing demands of airport operations. It also promises to enhance power stability and reduce the risk of outages, making the airport more efficient and more resilient. This partnership marks a significant step towards modernizing NAIA, promising a better experience for passengers while boosting the country's image as a travel hub. We're taking a quick break. Please stay with us as we dive deep into the numbers and the narratives that matter most to your bottom line.
Good morning, I'm Ferdy Salvador and welcome to Industry Beacon, where we shine a light on the trailblazers, the disruptors, and the leaders shaping our future.
The industry changes quite rapidly.
The industry has evolved, and in fact now it's really like a multidisciplinary approach.
We know where to go. We've got our comfort zone.
Those are early manifestations for of what
I'm happy you told me that because now I know I'm not getting Alzheimer's.
Industry Beacon on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
The latest news, national issues, the political scene, and conversations with prominent personalities. All these firsthand at the forefront.
Is still continuing with hearings on the EJ.
But we can recommend the filing of cases with the proper offices or agencies.
It is always victimizing the poor, so we will continue to go against corruption in the budget.
At the forefront with attorney Karen Jimeno, 8 a.m.
Welcome back to Basis Points Trading at the Philippine Stock Exchange. Opened just a few minutes ago. Let's take a look at the initial figures. Okay, we don't have those figures just yet, but in the meantime, oh, wait a minute. The site is online now. Okay, taking a look at the initial figures at the market, the PSE index is up by 0.5% to 67.14, back at the 6700 level, mind you. This after pulling back yesterday, Monday. We lost 0.7% to 66.81 right now, but we are seeing buying right now. The PSE index is up by 0.5%. All shares index up by 0.3%. And of all the sub-indices, all are trading in the green except for the holding firms, which is trading sideways with a downward bias, down by just 0.1%. Now, taking a look at the foreign exchange market, the peso opened stronger at 57.97 against the greenback compared to its previous close of 58.01. Now, joining us this morning to provide his insights on the latest trends and developments in the stock market is stockbroker and certified financial technician Miko Sayo. Hi, Miko.
Hi, Maiki. Good morning.
Okay, Miko, let's talk about what's hot now. There's one particular firm, Asia Best, ABG. The shares of this shell company have surged since October 21st. Year to date, it's up by 770%. It's the best performing stock of the year, despite it being non-operational. What's happening here and what's driving the momentum?
Well, as you said, starting from late October, there's this one particular broker that's been bidding up the stock, and the stock reached from $5 to about what it's currently trading right now. I think it closed somewhere around the 27 or 26 peso levels. and it got halted a couple of days ago as news came out that an entity bought into the stock.
Okay. What do you really think about this stock, Miko? What's behind all of this buzz?
Well, obviously, there is speculation that the stock was going to be bought. Why would a certain person or a broker buy up a non-earning and a shell company and drive the stock up by 5 times from $5 to $25 if you didn't know that something was going to happen, no? So news came out. It was bought by a person who was intending to probably infuse his assets into the company. So it's gonna be a shell from a shell company. It's gonna be something out of nothing.
Yeah, something out of nothing. You said it, a meteoric rise. Some are even calling it a zombie, back from the dead sort of thing. In any case, trading on this stock is suspended. When it resumes, do you expect it to maintain this momentum, or is a correction inevitable given this sky-high jump?
Well, normally after the news comes out, after a big run up, and then the news comes out, there's this phenomenon that we call in the market called the sell on the news behavior, wherein the market participants normally anticipate the news. That's why they're buying the stock, and once the news comes out, it becomes a signal to sell into the stock. So I wouldn't be surprised if once it resumes trading, prices of ABG might come back down.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, Dito CME's follow-on offering. This was sold out. They raised 2 billion pesos from this following offering of preferred shares as the company seeks to go head-to-head with giants, Globe and PLDT. Is this enough to support their plans, their growth plans, and their ambitions, Miko? What do you think about this?
Well, the company was able to raise almost 2 billion pesos from the follow-on offering. And there was also this 9 billion share placement. I think it was also done somewhere around those levels, maybe near 1 peso. So they were actually able to raise something like 11 billion from all these activities, no? And the problem now is that enough? The company's been bleeding to the tune of around 20 billion pesos a year. So is 11 billion enough to be able to compete with Globe and Smart? Maybe not. I think they might have to raise a lot more than just 11 billion.
Okay, on another point, Dennis Uy is also ceding control in favor of a minority stake in this company. What does this shake up at the upper management level tell you, and how does it change your outlook for the stock?
Well, to say it bluntly, Dennis Uy's name is a bit tainted already in the market. Everybody knows that he's grappling for money, and so he probably will not be able to sustain the massive financial requirements of Dito. So having ceding the majority in the company and inviting maybe entities or companies that have more financial backing should be a good welcome for the stock and should be more bullish for the stock.
Okay. Thank you, Miko. Next topic involves 2 listed companies. This is about Manila Bay and the construction firm EEI partnership. Still on Dennis Uy. Dennis Uy's Philippine Resorts, or PHR, says that its parent firm, Udena Corporation, inked a memorandum of understanding with EEI. They're exploring a potential partnership to develop Emerald Bay Resort and Casino in Mactan, Cebu. This is Cebu's first beachfront casino on a 12.4 hectare property. What are your thoughts on this? Should it push through?
Well, Emerald Bay is owned by PHR, and PHR is majority owned by Mr. Dennis Uy again. And they've been grappling to sell this subsidiary for the longest time. No, I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is now the fourth suitor that they are trying to woo and sell the company into. So I hope they're able to finally close the sale. No, the MOU is just, you know, a means for the potential suitor to look deeper into the company. They'll look deeper into their books, and if the conditions are right and they're able to agree on the price, then maybe the sale could finally push through.
Yeah, and that's the big if the conditions are right and if they like what's under the hood. All right, thank you, Miko. Moving on to the broader market. Earlier in our report, we had Dutch financial services firm ING Bank. They expect the BSP to implement larger rate cuts in 2025. What are your thoughts on this? Beginning with the forthcoming meeting on interest rates, the US FOMC, they're going to be meeting on December 17 to 18. The BSP is going to be meeting strategically a day after on the 19th, December 19th. What are your thoughts on interest rates?
Okay, so the market does expect a 25 basis point cut both from the Fed and the BSP on the 18th and on the 19th. And the market also expects another 75 to 100 basis points cut in 2025. So it was, I think the market expected a bit more for 2025 a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, and the market kind of got a bit disappointed, which is why prices are now trading back down to what, 6,700, because of the expectations also that, you know, rate cuts aren't going to be as aggressive as what we thought it would be. But it's still gonna be, we're still expecting 75 to 100 basis points cut next year. It's still going to be an easing cycle for, you know, 2025 all the way to 2026. So hopefully it would be enough to, you know, at least trigger markets to move higher.
Yeah, well, they have the leverage to do this with the inflation within expectations. But on another front, rate cuts are peso negative. The peso opened at 57.97 now, strengthening from previous lows that we experienced in a couple of weeks. With all of these rate cuts that are, you know, just in the offing, what effect do you think that's going to have on the local currency?
Well, again, they cannot. They have to move in lockstep with the Fed. You know, they cannot afford to move independently of the Fed. Otherwise, the peso will get affected, and if it further weakens, it will just trigger more foreign selling into out of the markets. So at the very least, I think the best that they can do is to just move in lockstep with the U.S. Fed.
Yeah, as they've been historically. Miko, last question. What's your outlook for the Philippine equity market as we close 2024 and as we come into the first half of 2025?
Well, the market has dropped quite significantly already in the last couple of weeks. It's trying to stabilize right now here at the 6,600 level. I think the selling has been overdone, but I wouldn't expect prices to easily climb back up to 7.5 again. We are going to from here up to the rest of 2024. I expect prices to probably just, you know, crawl higher, go up in a sideways to upward movement, and hopefully just close the year at about maybe 6.9 or somewhere around those levels.
Okay, I'm going to sneak in a Christmas related question, Miko. If you were to give a gift that's going to keep giving, give 5-10 years from now, give some returns, what stock certificates would you be stuffing in stockings this holiday season?
Oh, I'm still going for those high dividend yield companies. I'm still going for those very attractive REITs. You know, the market is still sideways. And if you are holding on to non-dividend yields in a sideways markets, you'll have a hard time making money. So I'm sticking to those high dividend yield companies like Semirara, there's LTG, there's OGP. The REITs are very attractive. The RCR, A-REIT right now is down 4% and could be an opportunity to get in. So those are my tips for stock picking in this market.
All right. Thank you so much, Miko Sayo.
Thank you, Mikey.
And we're taking a quick breather. Basis Points will be right back.
Good morning, everyone!
A platter of positivity, a cup of the hottest information, and a slice of what to expect for the whole day. With excitement, positivity, and fun. Join Paulo Del Rosario, Ann Asis Carrillo, and Monique Tuzon.
It's a beautiful day!
7 a.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
This is The Scorecard.
Where you score the latest sports news
and in-depth views. I'm Anton Rojas.
I'm Erica Christensen.
Get ready. Be prepared. Get to the latest stories, updates, and reports about what's happening in the world of sports. Hosted by Anton Rojas, Erica Christensen.
Where sports is our business and business is our sport.
The Scorecard, 9:30 p.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
Welcome back. Rupert Murdoch loses his bid to alter his family trust to consolidate control of his media empire under his son Lachlan. That's according to a report by the New York Times, which cites a sealed court document. Nevada Commissioner Edmund Gorman ruled that Murdoch and Lachlan, who heads Fox Corp and News Corp, acted in bad faith in their attempt to amend the irrevocable trust. The current structure of the trust would split control of the media empire equally among Murdoch's 4 oldest children after his death. Murdoch's legal team has said that they plan to appeal that decision. In other news, a suspect in the killing of UnitedHealth CEO Brian Thompson is now in police custody. New York City officials report that the suspect, identified as Luigi Mangione, was arrested in Pennsylvania. He is being held without bail and faces charges of gun possession and forgery. Authorities seized a gun and silencer believed to be consistent with the weapon used in the shooting, along with multiple fake identifications. Police also discovered a handwritten note that revealed the suspect's possible motivations, though the other details have not yet been released. This arrest is a major development in the case, providing closure for the victim's family while sparking concerns over corporate security and public safety.
Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan. The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized by an employee who then called local police.
And before we go, tired of doing these same old household chores? Well, artificial intelligence might be your new best friend. Tech firm 1X has developed a humanoid robot named Neo that can help with daily tasks like cleaning the house and doing the laundry. But that's not all. Neo can also engage in conversations, making it a potential companion as well. The market-ready version of Neo is set to launch next year. While the price has not been announced, it's expected to be comparable to a mid-range new car.
So this is the newest version of our humanoid Neo, who is going to be piloted in homes. We're starting to roll that out now. And this is going to be, in the long term, this will be doing your laundry, cleaning your house, tidying, and generally giving you back a lot of time in life.
Various tech companies, including billionaire Elon Musk's Tesla, are in a race to develop the first humanoid robot that can seamlessly integrate into our homes. Now, this technology could revolutionize daily life and create a new industry around personal robotics, offering huge opportunities for the tech sector and for investors alike. And that's it for Basis Points. I'm Maiki Oreta. We'll be back next week for more. We'll be back tomorrow, for more news on the financial markets and more. Keep it here on BNC, the Billionaire News Channel, always on top.